Pennsylvania is in many ways a microcosm of the United States, solidly Democratic in some areas in the East and West, and heavily Republican in between. The Democrat who won this week's Senate primary, Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman, is not writing off any of those bright red areas. He says he'll campaign for votes in every single county in the state. Fetterman stands out in a crowd. Literally, he is 6'8" tall, known for his casual dress, of course, and which includes hoodies and often shorts. He supports many progressive policies, and he won the primary against the centrist two-term Congressman Conor Lamb. Some on the left say, quote, Fetterman's victory should redefine the Beltway assumptions on electability. And his primary win was also notable because he was in the hospital after suffering a stroke just days before the election. So his wife, Giselle Fetterman, gave his victory speech instead.
You may have noticed I am not John Fetterman, the next senator of our great state. As I'm sure most of you know, John had a little hiccup on Friday while we were on the road campaigning. Thank God he's already on his way to a full recovery. Like so many others, I found the American dream and made my life here in Western Pennsylvania. I found love, a wonderful family, and a place I am proud to raise my children. John and I want to make sure that everyone in Pennsylvania can find the American dream here too.
And Giselle Fetterman joins us now. First of all, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me. I'm a huge fan.
Oh, thanks. So I want to start off by asking how he's doing. How is Mr. Fetterman doing, and when do you expect he'll leave the hospital?
He's doing great. He'll be home in a few days. He is dying to get out of there. I am not in a rush. I want him to leave when he is full. But he's looking good. Everything went well. The surgery is great. We're very lucky that we were close to, a great center, and that he was able to get the help that he needed immediately.
Yes, quick help in the event of a stroke is very, very important. Mr. Fetterman's campaign said today it raised $1.6 million in the 24 hours since clinching the Democratic nomination. Tell us more about the outpouring of support that you've seen this week.
Oh, it's been amazing. And I've heard from everyone from the president to the second gentleman to many other senators, but also so many stories. So many folks have reached out and said, I too had a stroke, or I also have a pacemaker, and this is what my life has been like, and it's saved my life, and I feel great. So I think it's something we don't talk about enough, but it's something that we should talk about more.
I agree with that assessment. A New York Times article asks, is John Fetterman the future of the Democratic Party? I mean, does your husband victory hold lessons for what national Democrats should be saying and what kind of candidates are actually electable? I mean, does he go against conventional wisdom?
I think he's a real person, and he's authentic, and I think that's refreshing in politics, because politicians have a bad reputation. In many cases, it's very well deserved, and he is something different, but he is who he's always been. He cares about these issues. He's been doing this work. He shows up. He doesn't write anyone off. We believe in visiting everywhere, and I think the results showed he won every single county in Pennsylvania. I don't know if that's ever been done before, but he won all 67 counties. And I think that's remarkable. And it shows that our slogan, every county, every vote, it wasn't a slogan, it was a promise. It was that we were going to go to every place, and we were going to talk to everyone, and we were going to listen.
A lot of campaigns say they're doing that. You've actually made that an explicit message, as you said, every county, every vote. I mean, how do you think your message can connect with some of those more rural voters that a lot of campaigns, they don't necessarily speak directly to those voters until the last weekend before the election?
Right. And, so many folks would say, oh, my God, thank you for coming. No one has ever come to see us before. And, we reject that. Their votes matter just like anyone else's. Their dreams matter just like anyone else's. And they deserve the same quality of life, no matter where you live in the state, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat or an independent. We want you to have a bright future in the state and stay here. So we were always willing to have that conversation. We're always willing to listen and to learn. And I think other Democrats historically have written them off, and we refuse to do that.
On the flip side of those rural counties, there's also Philadelphia and Pittsburgh and those heavy black voters in the heavy population of black voters in those particular areas of Pennsylvania. As I said at the top, Pennsylvania is really a microcosm of the country in so many ways. How does the campaign plan to engage communities of color, specifically black voters, as you head into November?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, we did win Philadelphia as well, and Pittsburgh, and we have a history working in this community. He was the mayor of Braddock. These are the issues he's always cared about. So the engagement is the same. It's taking the time. It's learning what matters. And at the end of the day, whether you're a black voter or not, whether you live in a rural area or you don't, you still want to make sure that your kids have a great opportunity, that you have a way to retire, that you have a safe life in this state. And that applies to all of us, regardless of where you live. Everyone deserves that opportunity. So I think it's easy to connect with that no matter where you go across the state. And that's what we'll continue to do with the messaging. But not only that, it's what we really, truly care about.
In the last minute here, since 2020, we've been having really honest conversations in America about race and discrimination. You're an immigrant from Brazil, and you've said that your husband, seeing the ways in which you've been treated and the ways you've been discriminated against, it changed the way that he looked at these issues, because people maybe assume you're your children's babysitter, he cited as one example. I mean, lay all of that out for us in the ways in which you think we can have better conversations and more folks can end up like your husband with a better understanding.
I think it's not being afraid to have difficult conversations. I've been in rooms across the state where someone can say, I think you're great. You do all this nice work. I think you're wonderful. My issue is with all the other immigrants, right? And I have to choose how I respond to that conversation. How can I make this an opportunity to learn, to understand, why do they feel this way? Everything is taught. Someone taught them to feel this way. And maybe if they can connect with me, they can see that there's much more to whatever scary idea they have in their mind of what immigrants are. I'll have folks that will say, well, I've never met an undocumented person, or you don't look like an illegal. Well, what does that mean? And, that word is hurtful. Let's have a conversation. My mom wanted a safe future for me. What would you do for your children? And I think these are all opportunities to connect with people. I say that regardless of what we believe, I am a person who wants to be loved, and you're a person who wants to be loved. And at the very least, we connect there. And at least that's a good place to start.
It is a good place to start. And this was also a great way to start the show today. Giselle Fetterman, thank you so much for being here, and please stay safe. Hi, I'm Zerlina Maxwell. Thanks for checking out our channel on YouTube. You can see more from Zerlina by clicking any of the videos on this screen, and make sure you subscribe below to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. Thanks for watching.